Mikel Arteta has a crucial decision to make about the unique Arsenal star before the clash with Manchester City, and journalist Charles Watts has just provided an important update on star Bukayo Saka. Will our young prodigy be absent against City? Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest news from Arsenal straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Mikel Arteta has a huge decision to make when it comes to one key position in his Arsenal starting 11 for Sunday's clash with Manchester City. There are plenty of nailed-on starters in the Arsenal squad these days. When fit, the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, William Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel Martinelli, and David Raya are all essentially guaranteed to be picked week in, week out. There are still question marks over a couple of positions ahead of this weekend's trip to the Eithad Stadium. For a start, on the left wing, Martinelli is a doubt due to injury. On the opposite flank, a late call will be made on Saka to ascertain whether or not he is fit to start against the reigning champions. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta has been urged to deploy Jorginho at the base of the midfield. There is also a debate to be had as to whether Jakub Kiwior or Alexander Zinchenko ought to be given the nod at left back. Arteta must also decide if Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus will lead the line. It is worth noting first of all that this may become a moot point if either Saka or Martinelli are ruled out of this match, as in that case Jesus would likely be called upon to deputize on the wing. However, assuming the Brazilian striker and the former Chelsea man are both vying for the same spot in the team, at the top of the pitch, then the manager has to back Havertz. There can be no denying Jesus' quality, and the 26-year-old would offer a potentially explosive option off the bench, who would have the capacity to come on and hurt his former club later in the game. On the basis of his recent form, though, and his natural physical attributes, Havertz is the right man to spearhead the Arsenal attack against Pep Guardiola's men. The 24-year-old has been in sensational form recently, having scored in his last 4 consecutive Premier League outings. Arsenal fans were even impressed with what they saw from Havertz during the international break. Why Kai Havertz must start for Arsenal v Man City? As indicated by The Athletic, the 6 feet 4 inches forward's unique profile makes him well suited to this opposition. As Manchester City are expected to have plenty of the ball, Arsenal need someone who can hold it up and protect possession when they have it. They also need a forward who can help them win it back quickly and get stuck into the physical battles on the pitch. Havertz has caught the eye this season with his hold-up play, pressing ability, and habit of winning his duels. What's more, Havertz's aerial prowess could prove to be another game-changing weapon. Arsenal have been incredibly effective from set pieces this season, and the 44-capped Germany international gives them another towering target to aim for in these situations. Above all, though, Havertz is considered a big game player. This is arguably the Gunners' most important match of the season so far, certainly in Premier League terms. Havertz has shown that he can be relied upon to step up to such occasions. Wright issues rallying call to Arsenal fans ahead of Manchester City clash. Mikel Arteta's side head into the game 1 point ahead of the hosts, whilst also level with Liverpool, who play against Brighton just before the clash at the Eithad Stadium. Arsenal know that a win would be massive for their title chances, whilst a loss could be detrimental to their hopes if they end up falling behind Pep Guardiola's team. The Gunners have not won at the Etihad Stadium since 2015, but they are now competitive alongside Man City and Liverpool at the top of the table, and Arsenal legend Wright has now called on the fans to go into the game with more confidence. On his X account, the former Arsenal striker pointed out that the fantastic work of Mikel Arteta and Edu Gaspar has brought the club back to a place where they are now competing in the biggest games, which was certainly not the case in recent years. We used to go into these games hoping we didn't get hammered or hope for a draw, Wright pointed out. Complete performance and culture change under Mikel can never be underestimated. Everyone needs to be together for this next run because we know Liverpool and City have been here before and done it. Arsenal are now competing at the very top level. Arsenal are in the Champions League quarterfinals and are top of the Premier League with 10 games to go. 2 years ago, Arsenal were in the battle to simply finish 4th ahead of Tottenham Hotspur, and it was a heartbreaking end to the season as Arteta's side narrowly missed out after a promising, but inconsistent campaign. This Arsenal side are now unrecognizable from the ones earlier on in Arteta's reign, which finished in 8th and 5th place, and the Spaniard has dramatically reduced the gap between Arsenal and the duo of Man City and Liverpool. Arsenal are now one of the very best teams in the country and have the chance to make a big statement at the home of the champions on Sunday, in a high-pressure game in which previous Arsenal squads may have crumbled. Journalist Charles Watts has now provided a key fitness update on one Arsenal player ahead of the Gunners' encounter with Manchester City. Mikel Arteta will have some key selection decisions to make when Arsenal travel to the Eithad Stadium on Sunday. The Spanish coach will be keen to name the strongest starting 11 he possibly can for this crucial Premier League clash. However, there are doubts over a couple of the Gunners' star men. Gabriel Martinelli may not be fit to face Manchester City. The Brazilian winger has not been available for club or country for the last couple of weeks after he sustained an injury against Sheffield United. Martinelli was subsequently spotted using crutches at the Emirates Stadium. There are also concerns about Bukayo Saka. The Hale End Academy graduate has struggled throughout the international break. Saka dropped out of the England squad and faces a race against time to be ready to feature against Pep Guardiola's reigning champions. Will Bukayo Saka play for Arsenal v Man City? Charles Watts has now shared his information on Saka's current condition. Writing in his daily briefing column, the reporter revealed, "I do expect Bukayo Saka to be fit. From the conversations I've had, I do not get the impression that his withdrawal from the England squad is much to be concerned about. The issue was described to me as a slight muscle injury, but it's not thought to be serious. Arsenal will make a late call on Saka, but the hope right now is that he will make the trip to Manchester." It would be a huge blow for Arteta if the 22-year-old was to be unable to make the trip to the northwest. Saka has been Arsenal's most potent attacking player this season, having racked up 16 goals and 13 assists in 37 appearances across all competitions. However, the Gunners will know that they have what it takes to overcome Manchester City even without the involvement of the England man, as they did so with a 1-0 win in the reverse fixture at the Emirates Stadium early this season. Gabriel Jesus is the man most likely to deputize for Saka on the right flank if required, and he will be keen to make an impact against his former club. However, based on Watts' update, it seems likely that Saka will be able to play a part at the Eithad Stadium. If that is the case, then Arteta will be looking to Saka to demonstrate his world-class credentials and have a telling impact on the outcome of the match. How important is Manchester City v Arsenal? The importance of this fixture can scarcely be overstated. The Premier League title race is currently so tight between Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool. Whilst the title won't be won or lost by any of these three battling clubs this weekend, there could be a huge swing of momentum. Former Manchester United defender Gary Neville believes it is crucial for Arsenal to beat Manchester City themselves, as they can't rely upon them to drop points elsewhere. Such a triumph would also provide a huge confidence boost for the North London club and would send out a clear message of intent. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.